discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the New to Wrestling podcast. This week, we watched the February 2nd, 1998 edition of Raw is War, and the match card is as follows. In our opening contest, we have Cactus Jack taking on Chainsaw Charlie in a no-holds-barred match. We have Owen Hart taking on Billy Gunn for the European Championship. Mero takes on Mosh of the Headbangers. Chains of the DOA takes on Faarooq. Bradshaw and the unlikely tag team partner of Flash Funk take on Bradshaw's former partner Barry Windham and his new bosom buddy Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah.
And in our main event, we have Steve Austin taking on the Road Dogg.
I'm surprised we even got that many matches from this episode.
Amen. 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 Hello, everybody. Welcome. If you are new here, you are in luck because that is Kelsey. If you are not so new here, I am here for you.
Thank you.
I'm also here for you if you are new here. I'm here for you all.
Imagine you're not. You're like, oh, you're new?
Actually,
I can only take on one student at this time, and the spot's filled, bitch.
I'm Madam Marvel, whatever, Marvel, like it from Wicked.
Madam Marvel from Wiki.
Yeah. I just like, I only want to teach you and you alone, and I don't want to even look at other students, actually.
Yeah, I'm getting a tenured professor salary, and I'm like, just one.
Just one,
No,
please.
just one.
No,
just one, thank you.
Just one's for me, thanks.
Just one.
All right, guys. We are barreling towards WrestleMania 14 in the show. But before we get to that, last week, if you listened or watched, whatever you prefer, we went into some WrestleMania predictions. WrestleMania was this weekend. Kelsey has not had the opportunity to watch yet, so I'm going to be ruining this for her. But
if you didn't watch it in real time, it deserves to be ruined for you.
It's it
was WrestleMania Las Vegas. I know some things, but surprisingly not the outcomes of any matches, but I am off social media this time, so probably explains why I've escaped for so long.
Yes, but here we go.
I'd rather hear it from God's mouth to my ears, meaning
Wow, that's a lot of pressure. Anyway, so all right, so the opening contest of WrestleMania 41 saw Jey Uso defeat Gunther to become the new world heavyweight champion.
Sorry to this man.
I wanted Gunther, but I am not shocked that this was the outcome. Was it my favorite match ever? No. Was it feel good moment? Sure. I have a feeling just based on the kind of flow of this weekend, WWE started on a high, ends on a low as far as at high, babyface win, low, heel victory. So.
Now I'm already mad because now I know what that means.
Yes. Girl, I told you.
Anyway, I know. I'm happy you were right.
So, the tag team championships are being defended. The War Raiders against the New Day. And the New Day take home that victory. Jade Cargill gets sweet revenge over Naomi in this time off. Jade Cargill's been putting in that work. She came out with like new moves, new ferocity. It was fantastic. I love to see it. Definitely check that one out. Jacob Fatu claimed the United States Championship from LA Knight. I had a feeling that was going to be the case. El Grande Americano takes on Rey Fenix, not Rey Mysterio. A last minute switch up because apparently Rey Mysterio injured his groin on Friday Night SmackDown, making him unable to participate in WrestleMania that weekend. So Rey Fenix stepped up to have his WrestleMania debut very shortly after his WWE debut. But unfortunately, due to the shenanigans of El Grande Americano, he did not come out on top. Tiffany Stratton held on to her WWE Women's Championship match against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair as predicted.
Okay,
Um,
period.
love to see it. It was hard hitting. This was one you want to go watch. They were definitely taking out some aggressions for the things that were said out on each
Ooh,
other. Tiffany came out of this match looking like she was in a fight. I think this was the right move as far as just the storytelling goes. I think it's too early into Tiffy's reign to take it away from her, especially not for somebody who's just hasn't been around in like over a year due to injury. I still
yeah.
think if you want to get the fans on board, Charlotte's going to have to work for it just a little bit more. So in our main event, it was Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. And as predicted, Paul Heyman did turn on both CM Punk and Roman Reigns to
Hunty.
leave with Seth Rollins. So we are as
Her.
we are recording right now, Monday Night Raw is ongoing or wrapping up shortly. So I will be zooming home after this to watch the aftermath because I need to know. I need to know.
And you need to text
So
me expeditiously once
I
you
ab
find out.
I absolutely will. I absolutely
Thank
will.
you.
So more on that to come. Um, Paul Heyman, on a side note, was on the Pat McAfee show this morning, whiling, which unhinged craziness. So if you want a good time, go find that
Which
on the internet.
is kind of sometimes when Paul is at his best.
Oh, it's absolutely when Paul's at his best. This is
Okay, yeah.
fantastic.
It's like
He's out here.
ECW shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm here for that.
All right. So this is WrestleMania Sunday. We have the triple threat match for the Women's World Championship match. Io Sky
Mm.
comes out on top against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, as
What you
predicted.
predicted.
Thank
Yes,
you. Love to
girl.
see it. It was a
Come
classic
on.
story of Bianca and Rhea too into their own beef.
Yep.
They took their eye off of Io. Io took advantage of the moment. We love to see it.
Love.
In this Sin City Street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, we have Drew McIntyre coming out on top. I actually didn't realize that this was as long of a feud as I guess it was.
Mm.
We did see, of course, last year at WrestleMania, Damian Priest came out on top over Drew McIntyre when he cashed in his Money in the Bank contract by surprise
Mm.
after Drew McIntyre was mouthing off to CM Punk and got his comeuppance for it. Damian Priest cashes in his contract, wins the title from Drew McIntyre, spoiling his WrestleMania moment. Damian Priest would then go on to not only eliminate Drew McIntyre from the Royal Rumble, but also eliminate Drew McIntyre from the Elimination Chamber. So
Oh,
while Drew
yeah.
McIntyre was out here worrying about the CM Punks of it all, he probably should have been worrying about Damian Priest. That
Period.
Drew McIntyre comes out on top in that street fight, in a classic match, Fatal Four-Way Intercontinental Championship match. Dominic Mysterio is the new Intercontinental
I had a
Champion.
feeling.
It was his time. His time was now, and the crowd ate it up.
I'm sure
You
they did.
see, the thing about Dominic is it's not that we actually hate him. We just like to hate him. Like we
Yes.
like the act of hating on him. We don't actually hate him.
The
Uh,
first time I was exposed to him was when we watched WrestleMania, where the big storyline was him breaking away from his father.
mhm.
That was tea, bitch. I was sucked in. I'd never seen him
And
before, and I
since
was like,
then, he has become like the number one villain in WWE. Everybody
yes.
hates him.
Because
It's
I know
so
he was with Rhea Ripley, and then he
left her for
to be with,
Liv. Yeah,
yes,
so
oh
he's
girl.
slimy. He's got the mustache. He's really good at
Betray the
cheating.
father,
Eh,
betray the girl, betray the, oh
right,
no.
right. So like
Turn.
he's just become such a good villain, and he's been putting in that work as we talked about last week. He, as I think, had only as I either had more matches or only like was out done by Cody Rhodes as far as like number of sheer matches
Of
like last
appearances.
year.
Damn.
Like which is and that is the world champion. Like that is, you know what I mean? So
Okay,
that's putting in
Dom.
work. So he deserves it. Love to
God
see it.
bless.
He ate that moment up. Randy Orton put out an open challenge because he was originally supposed to face Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is out because he needs neck surgery. So his surprise opponent was none other than the TNA World Champion, Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, internet darling, love to see it. Had his moment. Very fun match, very short match. But hey, Joe Hendry got his moment on the WrestleMania stage. We love to see it.
Love that.
Logan Paul goes over on AJ Styles. Again, that one was a toss up. Could have gone either way. I'm not surprised. It is what it is.
Right.
The WWE Women's Tag Team title match, we had Lyra Valkyria teaming up with a surprise return, Becky Lynch, to defeat Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to become the new champions. Again, this was a thrown together tag team match that was supplanted by an even more thrown together tag team match. While
Mm,
great to see Becky Lynch back, was still very random.
yeah.
And in our main event, John Cena breaks Ric Flair's record for a 17th championship reign in what can only be described as an underwhelming main event that didn't see The Rock, but did see Travis Scott being the catalyst for John Cena picking up the victory. It
Ew.
was very underwhelming. People were really not about it. I'm not about it. I think if the whole catalyst of John Cena's heel uh run is him selling his soul to The Rock, I think The Rock probably should show up at some point for some kind of payoff.
He
Um
didn't come out at all?
wasn't there at all. Wasn't there
Girl, what?
whatsoever. And so Travis Scott comes out and like I guess causes a distraction, gets crossroads because Cody owes him a receipt for giving him that black eye that he had to explain to his 3-year-old daughter. And like what? It was just like
Can
why
we?
not The Rock, not another wrestler. You
I
have been out
fucking hate
here
that.
like building up Cody Rhodes to make him lose with the assistant with to the assistance of Travis Scott. Random.
Bitch. Wait, can we talk about this
Weird.
for a second?
Yeah.
Because I was just talking about this with my brother-in-law this past weekend. Hi, James. Um, because we were talking about John Cena's heel turn, and I said it was really annoying because when I watched it, Travis Scott did not need to be there. He was so distracting and so annoying. And listen, his music great, certainly it is. But I just don't fucking sorry. I just don't fucking care. And for me, John Cena doing the most iconic heel turn, or one of the most iconic heel turns
Oh,
in
it's up there.
recent
It's
memory,
arguable. Yeah.
at least. Why is he like what John Cena, who's been in the business for what, 30 years,
20, I don't know.
20
20, yeah. 20
decades?
plus. Yeah.
And The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and like why is Travis Scott there? Like imagine
Why are you there?
doing that heel turn after being in a business like that you adore, and it's this huge moment for you, and for some reason Travis Scott is there. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. And like, do I love sometimes when the celebrities get involved? Certainly. I mean, we are in the era where Mike Tyson is getting involved, but he's
Right.
also a fighter. And I
Right.
know that like
At the
Logan comes
very
in at some
least, there's some like
point.
credibility there as far as like if he gets involved and like punches someone in the face, I'm gonna believe that. But like Travis Scott just being there for the sake of being Travis Scott and being there
I
is
hate
weird.
that.
Is first of all, like bro was saging or Apollo like what like the like
Disrespectful, by the way.
crazy.
Disrespectful, by the way.
Like
Um,
what are you doing? Like what
I
are we
don't,
doing?
and you want to know what's crazy is like Snoop Dogg deserved what he was able to do. Like that was iconic. He was a huge fan. He attends WrestleMania every year. Like whatever he got involved with, but it was
Yeah. He was like
brief
the
and
host of WrestleMania.
yes,
That's like a thing.
a
You
thing.
come out, you be the host, you have your
He's
little
an
moment.
entertainer.
Right. Believable.
And if you
Believable. And the only time Snoop Dogg really got involved was because there was a legitimate injury and like he called something like they called it on the fly. Like there was a moment, something happened out there, like someone actually got hurt, they weren't supposed to, and like Snoop Dogg got involved like physically to like distract. You know?
yes,
It was like, you know what I mean? But like Travis Scott just being there and being like the catalyst as
girl,
to
no.
why John Cena forever next to John Cena's 17th like world
Disgusting,
title reign,
actually.
it will be like asterisk Travis Scott with the
Sloppy.
assist.
Triple H, I'm really
Crazy.
surprised at you. I think this is sloppy and weird. I'm
And like,
sorry.
and again, we don't know where it's going. We don't know where it's going. But and Triple H, honestly, like this weekend, I feel like he's been playing like on the back foot, being like, what if this is like the beginning? What if this is blah blah blah? But it's like, no, babe, like this is
Because you're gonna get your ducks
WrestleMania.
in a row. Yeah, girl,
This is WrestleMania. This is where you pay off. This is the payoff. Hello, you're charging people thousands of dollars for tickets. This is where you pay off.
boo.
Like,
This is the Black
hello.
Friday of the wrestling world. This is the Black Friday. This is what you work your whole year for. Like,
Right.
and I literally said, I think I don't know who came up with the idea, and I don't know if we've talked about this on the show, but I don't know who came up with the idea to point to the WrestleMania sign. And I was like, it's so genius because it's like your mind is always like, that is the road we're heading down. We are always heading, all roads lead to WrestleMania.
Right.
It's genius marketing. So you're saying all roads lead to WrestleMania, but this is just like what the crudité, the
Right.
appetizers, the past hors d'oeuvres. What are you talking about? This
Right.
is supposed to be the meal. It's Las Vegas. It's WrestleMania Las Vegas a year after the biggest WrestleMania on the books.
Mm-hmm. And like though like people were talking about like the crowd being very like weird. It's like because it's Las Vegas, so it's very like 50-50. Like they were kind of like cheering for like heels and blah blah. And then there was the argument that like are ticket prices like affecting the way that the crowds like react? Like is it so expensive that these people aren't
Oh,
actually wrestling fans? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I do. And like,
Like
but that is so crazy. Like, and not to like get into the subject of like eat the rich, but like, it's crazy that someone would spend so much money on something they're not even into, to
right,
me.
you know what I mean? And it's like I don't know. And there was a lot of branding this year. And like again, I get it. Get your bag. Get your bag.
I want, do I,
But I want the
I
payoff,
Thank
babe.
you. I want wrestlers to get paid. I want wrestlers to have a retirement plan. I want all of the works, and I know that branding is the way to do that. But like, there's a better way to do it. And I know that like Triple H has not been at the helm that long, but he's been in the game for a really long time. And I
Yeah,
just,
bro just went to the Hall of Fame this year.
girl, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. And especially when I think of all the wrestlers who've been waiting their entire, and not even waiting, working their
Mm-hmm.
entire lives to get to WrestleMania, to even have a shot at being in a match. And then Travis Scott is the catalyst for the John Cena. Girl, you are kidding me.
Right.
I do not like that.
No. Yeah, it was like a very meh. Like it gave everybody like a meh feeling. And like again, that is are you not supposed to love the heel winning the world championship? No, you're not supposed
Uh-huh.
to. So again, I'll give him, that. It just felt like it just instead of it feeling like, oh, like that's what we're getting, like it just felt like, oh, like that's what we're getting.
Girl, I can't wait in like however many years if John Cena will ever be like, yeah, I was bullied into having Travis. Like, I didn't want Travis Scott out there and I had to have him. Like, I want to know what the tea is. Like,
It,
whose ideal?
well, Travis Scott and WWE right now have some massive like merch collab going. Like, it's just
There's
like
always a merch
and
collab,
like not for
please.
nothing, like this like there were like entrance like costumes and things that were like branded and they just all looked like shit. They all
No,
looked like shit. All
no,
of
there were
them.
not. Oh
Yes,
no, no,
yes,
no, no, no.
ma'am.
Oh
Yes,
no, 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 no,
ma'am.
no. I'm not a NASCAR bitch.
You think the War Raiders came out in some like pixelated ass like armor? I was like, this is dumb. This is dumb. Like we're doing too much. It's just like,
Oh, I hate that.
yeah, it
Oh,
was.
that's icky to me. I don't like that.
Yeah, it was like a notch too far. You know what I mean? Like with the
I certainly
branding.
do. Ooh,
Like
I now I can't.
I don't need every logo to be on the mat. Every
Not on
logo?
the also on the wrestlers? Wait, on the mat too?
There was a bunch of logos on the mat, which is not uncommon, but like they're just like the branded entrances was weird.
That's
I didn't love
weird.
that. Didn't love that.
Again, I'm not a NASCAR race car. I'm not like
It's weird.
that's bizarre.
Yeah. This weekend was also announced that I promise, guys, we'll get to the
Yeah,
actual
so oh my God,
episode.
sorry, that just
Uh,
really enraged me.
No, that WWE has acquired AAA, the Mexican Lucha Libre organization, so that's gonna rock the world a little bit.
Whoa. Oh, that's
Because
crazy.
AAA has previously done partnerships with AEW and doing like cross-promoted shows and things, now owned by the WWE. So we're gonna see how that goes. And there's going to be a cross-branded NXT AAA event. Whenever kind of WWE does any kind of event in this kind of sphere, they call it Worlds Collide, where they'll do like
Mm,
NXT, NXT UK, and you know that sort of thing. So they're gonna do a Worlds Collide event with NXT and AAA. So that's gonna be
hmm.
very interesting to see. We'll see how it goes, but I do think it'll allow people who have had and made their name in AAA, such as your Pentas and your Ray Phoenixes, to continue to have a relationship with Mexico and a Mexican promotion.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But who knows? It is always a little jarring when a big company comes in and is like,
I
you
don't know. I
know,
feel weird about that. It
it's
feels
weird.
weird.
But
I don't know.
it's not the first time it's happened.
I
WCW,
know.
ECW,
I
it's
know, and where are they now, girl?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like it. And I know I'm new to wrestling, but like just on like instinct alone, that feels very scary.
Oh, they also announced which
No, I
oh
can't
no no
take
no, this is
anymore.
good. They're
Oh, okay.
doing a behind the scenes like in the writers room show.
Ooh, okay,
Which
yes.
I
I'm
know
clocked
you're
in.
going to be very
I'm
into.
clocked in.
And I'm asking on air, so putting you on the spot, but like, is that something you would like to see us cover, guys? Because this is behind the scenes. This
You
is
guys, do you
maybe
want to
this
spill
can
the
be.
tea with the girls? Come
You know we
on.
eat this up, and you know Kelsey really eats this up.
It's
So,
it is one of my biggest vices. Please know that I don't love this quality about myself. I really try to restrain myself from enjoying this type of content, which is so funny because I don't like reality TV, but a dot like and I don't judge anyone who loves reality TV. I just get such bad secondhand anxiety, but a show of like a docu behind the scenes spilling the tea what really goes on, that's whoa. That's
I
what I
know.
like.
I know.
I want
So
to know
if that's
everything.
something you'd like to get into, let me know.
Yeah.
Because that is going to be thrilling.
I
Um,
cannot wait. I love to see how the what do you call it? Like the chicken is made. What do they say?
how the sausage is made, I
How the
think.
sausage is made. Thank you.
It's
Wrong. I had the
yeah, yeah.
wrong meats.
The wrong meats. Yeah, well, there's a lot more questions about how sausage is made. But all right,
And
guys.
sometimes I don't want to know.
No, no, no. Ignorance is truly bliss in that regard.
Certainly it is.
All right, guys, let's get into this episode. It
Because
hit
what did
us.
we just watch?
What did we just watch? Really and truly. Although I will say from the rip, this is one of the first episodes we have seen as far as a Monday Night Raw is concerned. That is one storyline, start to finish. It is pretty much the whole episode
Oh
is
yeah.
one story.
Oh,
So,
interesting. That's such a
yeah,
good point.
yeah. So, and I think that's a pretty
We're all
interesting
together
way.
now.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting way of like storytelling as far as the wrestling we have seen, or an interesting spin on the wrestling format. But this episode opens up with the classic special report from D-Generation X, the State of a Union address, if you will. And essentially, what they do is the what they read is a letter that USA Network actually sent to them. And what they did in this thing was turn it on its head and say, okay, great. We'll just read the letter verbatim on air. And then obviously at the end, they start ad-libbing when they start
That,
going back and forth. But that is a letter that the USA Network sent them, and it's basically like, "Yo, you're going too far. Like, you have to rein them in. Like, blah
yeah,
blah blah blah
talk about
blah."
how the sausage is made, girl.
So basically, what was going on was DX was getting out of pocket. The USA Network would get them in trouble. The ratings would be really, really good. Vince would be like, "Okay, but like, don't do that." But like, mm.
Wink, wink. Oh,
Right.
that makes so much sense for the whole episode then.
Right. And then
Oh my God, that's crazy.
it's like this whole like running joke, and they happen to be in prime. The Bill Clinton scandal is at its height
Eek.
right now. So again,
Insane.
we're in 1998. So they're playing on that. They're playing with the network essentially. And the gag of it all is USA Network actually loves this sketch. They eat it up. They think it's so funny. They
I
were
mean, I
like,
do.
no, and it is, and it's fantastic. But of course, they go from the 9 to 10 hour. We will only say ass, damn, and hell, and we will never say. And then they go into like an expletive rant. And then it's like from 10 to 11, we'll only say like this, that, and the other. And then we will make less references to our enormous genitalia. And you're like, this is fantastic stuff. This is great. And then Shawn Michaels basically wraps it up, quoting, uh, paraphrasing our former president Bill Clinton, saying that he did not have sexual relations with that woman. In fact, they were up all night.
Or
So
he said did not
asleep,
sleep with that intern. We
right?
were up all night,
So ridiculous.
which is just
It's
brilliant. I
classic.
did not know it was the actual letter. That is so amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So they were like getting in
I
trouble
can't get in
with the
trouble if
network,
I'm just repeating what you said.
right? And it worked.
Wow.
And it worked. And then from that point on, they were just kind of into whatever DX was doing, which is hilarious.
Wow. I mean, again, better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Right. Crazy.
Wow.
So, this is crazy. DX comes out. They're dressed as Uncle Sam, and they all have signs. Some say standing at 8 inches, I want a bodacious blonde. And essentially, DX is campaigning for Tyson versus Austin at WrestleMania for obvious reasons. Again, if you're new here, it is because Stone Cold has won the Royal Rumble, therefore is the number one contender for Shawn Michaels WWF Championship. So he wants no part of that, he being Shawn Michaels. So he is campaigning his little political heart out for the match to be shifted away from him and his precious title. So, yeah, they're just being ridiculous. The WWF decided to spend a little money and drop the balloons from the ceiling today. They
Love.
said, let's go, let's bring it all out. China looked so good,
She looks incredible, girl. And what
so
else is
good.
new? And what
Honestly,
else is new?
honestly.
Actually,
Um,
Jay Uso and Jimmy Uso did a goat and woat thing on YouTube recently, and they
mhm.
said the goat female wrestler was China. They said they're
Wow.
GOAT female wrestlers trying to.
Well, yeah, she was a badass. So of course Austin comes out because you're not going to mention his name that many times,
Yeah, swear.
without him showing up. He's like Beetlejuice in that way.
Hmm.
I have my next note is as Austin is coming down the ramp. Okay, Quadzilla. Because
And
because and nothing. Just
I'll
I love to
never
see
get
it.
over it. And I hope I never do. I hope I never do. I hope it gets me every time.
Yeah, no, honestly. HBK has disrobed from his um Uncle Sam costume to reveal a DX little crop top. Love to see it. He gets right in Austin's face. Austin essentially goes, I know what you're doing. It's really not that cute. Because I won the Royal Rumble, your ass belongs to Stone Cold. And that belt is coming home with me, and there's nothing anybody can do about it.
And
Because
he's this close to him and just
mhm,
like
mhm.
unmitigated eye contact. And if he did that to me, there, well,
We know
yeah,
where that would end. Um,
redacted. Whatever I was gonna say, I'm preemptively
redacted,
redacting.
100%. Yeah, that save that for a grocery store smut novel. Um,
My fa my favorite.
uh, yes, yes, yes. Um, somewhere during that Stone Cold rant, Shawn Michaels like takes off his little crop top, and Stone Cold looks at him like, "Are you real? Are you for real?" So he continues, and he's just like, "Stone Cold could be anybody's ass in the world. I mean, and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so." And then he rips his own shirt off and is like, "And what?"
Ugh.
Right? He's like, "Ugh."
Love.
Crazy,
Love.
crazy, crazy,
He's
crazy.
the best.
So that takes us into our first contest, which really is just like the catalyst of the evening. It is Chainsaw Charlie taking on Cactus Jack. No holds barred. Chainsaw Charlie comes out with a dumpster full of weapons. Love to see that. That's absolutely insane. And then we get a little backstage segment about why they're doing this match in the first place. Cactus talks about basically wanting to prove himself, like not being a little kid anymore, and how remembering how early in his career some people in higher places on the card would tell him that nobody cares about him or what he does, and that he would be out of the game by 30 and in a wheelchair. He basically goes down to be like, well, this is for pride. This is about being the king of the hardcores. And if I was supposed to go down at 30, then I guess I'm on borrowed time anyway. So I might as well go down swinging. And then Terry Funk chimes in and is basically is like, I love you like a son, but not when we get out there in that ring because we got business to take care of. And then of course Mick Foley jokes, he's like, we'll probably take each other out. Um, and of course they have themselves a giggle because they're sick fucks.
I love them.
Mhm.
Well, you know you're like a son to me. I went, oh,
No,
okay.
oops.
Oh no, ouch.
No, we love to see. Chainsaw came out with a dumpster full of weapons. Jack brings out a giant
Bigger dumpster.
industrial dumpster full of weapons and garbage
And garbage.
and
Just some
actual
classic
garbage.
garbage.
Because he will not be undone.
Mm.
We find out that Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie, Owen Hart, and who is the last one? There's one more.
Oh, oh my God. Because it's such a weird. Is it
They
Ahmed
will
Johnson?
possibly no, Ahmed Johnson's in that
No.
other match. Oh
It's just because he's been coming out
no.
with them a lot.
But they will be taking on DX and the
Is it
New
Ken
Age.
Shamrock?
No, Ken Shamrock's in the other match. Um, I'll get back
Thinking
to you
of?
on that, guys. Don't worry.
What a
But
sin.
they will be teaming up to take on DX and the New Age Outlaws at No Way Out, which is our first non in your house pay-per-view. We love to see it. So that will be the next episode that you see from us. That is a kind of recap episode. So look out for that in the next couple weeks or so. The beating continues. They're just beating the shit out of each other because it's Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie. What you'd expect. Pick a weapon, any weapon, they've used it. Ladders, trash cans. Terry at one point is wearing the trash can. We
Steel
cut yeah,
chairs,
just the classic
the
mayhem,
girlies.
as you would expect from these two. And then we get what would be a commercial break. We cut back to the two of them fighting back up the ramp. Cactus is a psychopath. He back body drops Terry into the dumpster, climbs the Titantron, hits Terry with a classic Cactus Jack elbow off of the Titantron into the dumpster, only to be trapped in the dumpster by the New Age Outlaws who come out, trap them in by locking it shut, and then they proceed to push the two of them off of the side of the entrance and of the stage and just dump them over both in the dumpster and just drop 10 feet. We are left with them celebrating, and the entire locker room then spills out from the backstage area
Girl,
and just for the over
drama,
the top chaos of it all. Sunny
drama,
is crying like she's never
hysterical.
cried before. Flash Funk is big pissed because that is the grandpappy of ECW that you just threw off of the stage, and he is
Borderline kill.
not
Yeah.
happy about it. They start feuding, they being the wrestlers, with the New Age Outlaws because they're like, yo, too far, you did too much.
Yeah.
Essentially, the big argument is in an effort to get themselves over, whether with the boys or with the crowd, they've gone too far in actually hurting their fellow performers. So you can tell there's to me, it seems like the backstage peeps were not fully made aware of the situation, which is how we got some of those genuine reactions. Um, because no offense, Sonny, but you are not that good.
Well, that's what I said. So this was insane. And JR was
Yes,
like
beside himself.
beside himself screaming, like
Mhm.
so enraged. And even later, like he really, this whole episode, he was mad. He was like ready to go at a moment's notice, like so mad.
Right.
And then when they went over, and it's funny because then I was reading like some sort of Reddit thread because I immediately was like, is this real? And I was like, click, click, click. Like I have to know.
Hmm.
And somebody was like, well, it's crazy because I had the thought of like, I've seen Mick Foley and Chainsaw Charlie take way, or Terry Funk take way more severe bumps than this. Like, and it's funny thinking of like their death match in
Right.
Japan where it's like they're literally being thrown on like bombs and barbed wire and
Hmm.
whatever. And so the dumpster going over the top, I was like, that is crazy. But like for a moment, I was like, hmm. But then
Mm.
everyone was reacting so strongly that I
What
was
is
like,
it? You like to give a 5-star reaction or like
oh,
an
that,
A
oh
plus
God, this
reaction
screamed.
to a C
I like
level
to give an
problem,
A level reaction to a C level situation.
which is
That is
what that
that is
was.
I'm not even joking, I think why I'm here on this earth. Like if you want to be over dramatic about something, I am the one to call.
That's
Because
amazing.
I will take it to 100 if you want.
If,
Even if you
if,
don't.
if you want to go there,
If you
if you
want
want to go
to.
there.
If you want to do like say like, oh yeah, and then Teresa accidentally took my sandwich at work. I'm gonna be like, oh, that bitch. Like we can really take it there. But I was like, everyone's reacting so strongly. I was like, is this real? The wrestlers coming out from the back, Flash Funk trying to fight, Sunny hysterically crying. The ant pulling the ambulances. They have oxygen masks on. I was like, wait a minute.
Crazy.
Wait a minute. Did they really get injured? And the whole like first half of the episode was just this, like
Right.
covering the fact that the dumpster had gone over
First
the
hour.
ledge.
First hour was just this.
Yes. Oh, wait, I wanted to read that comment from that guy from the Reddit thread
Oh,
too.
please do. That was fantastic.
So I went on the Reddit thread to see if it was real. And it said, that was the first Raw I ever attended live at the prime age of 7 years old. I remember vividly in my young mind thinking that I just witnessed two men die.
Absolute insanity.
That is,
WWF creating trauma.
girl. It was so crazy.
So crazy.
And now obviously we know
I
from the
loved,
end is that
right.
it was fine, but
I love on commentary though, Kevin Kelly's like, they have children. He goes, I hope you're proud of your daddies. And that took me out. I was like,
yes,
that was so funny, Kevin.
because the New Age Outlaws were like celebrating on the side at first,
Hmm.
and they're like, I hope you're proud of your daddies, like of girl. And
Right.
then
Like they chose their dad.
I swear, and then they're like they're getting rebuked by the other wrestlers. Vince comes out, like there it felt like real tea. And it was funny too, because I'm like, imagine buying a ticket to Raw and the whole first hour is just like, are they dead in this dumpster? Will
Right.
anybody tell me
Right.
what is happening? Like, because that was the only match for the first half of Raw.
Right. That's crazy.
Insane. And the other ones were almost just as insane, basically.
Yeah. Because they were all interwoven with this madness.
Insanity.
So DX comes out while they're like dealing with the hubbub of it all, just to like hype uh the New Age
This
Outlaws
was
up. They're like, where does it end? Like, ask Vince, like, oh, we're like week in with week out, we're like told to like bump it up, like keep make the ratings higher, like blah blah blah, like compete against ourselves. Like, where does it end? Why don't you ask Vince? And he's like yelling into the camera. I'm like, this is chaotic AF.
this felt so real. Like
Right.
it felt like such a shoot because he was like, "Oh no, every week they say get the ratings up. All you did was do something to get the ratings up. I bet when they look next week, they're gonna thank you. They're gonna be
Right.
thanking that you have to keep." And then like Shawn was saying like, "This is a man's business. This is
which
a
was which
man's
was weird
business."
considering like
Trying
he's
to
called out for his like masculinity all the time.
all the
Like,
time.
so weird,
Weird
weird.
flex, but okay. It was
Uh,
just like so intense. I
right,
literally wrote Honey the Drama. I don't even know what to say
right,
because it was so intense.
crazy. So next we have Billy Gunn taking on Owen Hart for the European Championship. The New Age Outlaws come out to like they start doing their entrance, and he and the Road Dogs just like forget it.
Forget it.
Like they immediately start getting booed. They're like, never mind.
Whatever.
Owen, I think, got some of his licks in as soon as they are both in the ring. Owen goes after the Road Dog, gets a couple shots in on him, knocks him out of the ring, turns to Billy, and then is all over Billy for the first portion of this match. Like all over him, white on rice situation.
Mm.
Um, he double drop kicks the both of them on the outside of the ring, hits Billy with a plancha. Owen's kicking Billy's ass until Billy hangs Owen on the top rope with a neck breaker. And then the commentary team says kind of what we're all thinking. It's just like the crowd is just like dead. The crowd is just like they were just like, yeah, well, they were all excited to be there until you basically just killed two men in front of them.
I
Like I'd be a
swear.
little shook if also.
I
I'd be a
I'm
little bit
only human.
hesitant to get into the action after I just witnessed two men, like, and one of which is getting up there to be
He's not a
doing
spring
this
chicken.
nonsense.
Yeah,
It gets it thrown from a ring in a dumpster. Like that's crazy. They're like,
girl.
oh, the air got let out of the crowd. Well, I wonder why.
I wonder why in the very first match, acting crazy. I and Jerry was another like again I couldn't tell. Like Jerry seemed like
Seemed
really
upset
upset
also.
too
Yeah.
because he was like I just because normally he's like Team Road Dog because they're like the heels and he's the color commentator,
Right.
duh.
But
And
I
he was literally
think
like I'm
I think that was the
shocked.
directive. It was like even Jerry is like you even got like the one who's normally with your chicanery. You shocked him. You
Yes.
you you made him speechless. I think
And
that's
he
what sells it like a little bit more.
No, certainly, because he was the one that like really made me second guess if it was planned or not. Because
Right.
normally Jerry, if it was planned, would have been like, well, they're two
Mm-hmm.
young guys trying to break through in the industry and it's not hard. But he was literally like, breakthrough in the industry, like whatever. Like that was still too far. Like these guys get a big head and they think they gotta do something crazy out here every
Right.
week. Like he was like chastising them, and I was like, so was that not it? I mean, they got me. They got me good. I was like, hold on.
Yo, amen.
Now I'm really second guessing myself.
Crazy, crazy,
Jerry
crazy.
done got me, girl.
So of course Owen looks like he's going to pick up the victory with the sharpshooter, and of course DX come down, and it's just a 4-on-1 situation. JR big mad, he's yelling at them. He's like, "Oh, like DX, big cool, big guys,
Yeah,
like
they're
4-on-1." Yeah, they're like, "Oh, look how cool! Like they're like they are pathetic," and you're like,
yelling.
"Okay, damn,
Pissed,
damn."
girl. He was
Uh,
pissed.
100%. They hit Owen with a DDT up on the stage into like a ring. It's like a metal grate, is what it looks like. Which is crazy. And
Insane.
then they go, DX is like talking the New Age Outlaws into going to toss Owen off the stage, like just like swinging him off, like he's just like a little kid. Before he is stopped by a slew of officials who come out from the backstage area. We're like, girl, two wasn't enough.
Uh,
How high you want your like murder count to be?
I
Like that's crazy.
swear. How many
That's
ambulances do
crazy.
we have on deck? Because we already lost two.
Right.
So lucky number three. Like I was like, what is happening here? I literally wrote my next note is was just, girl, this episode is so crazy.
Wild. So
What's
crazy.
happening?
I don't know, girl. I don't know. And next we have Mosh taking on Mark Mero with Sable. Okay, Sable.
Whoa.
Okay, Sable.
Whoa.
Wow, 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 wee, wow.
Whoa.
Wow,
Whoa.
wow, wee,
Whoa.
wow. She came out
Whoa.
with the leather chaps. She looked amazing.
Leather
Miro's like kind of
chaps.
like chasing after her
Mm.
with the robe, like trying to get her to like put it on. And she's just like, why? She's got that selective hearing, that like, oh, I'm sorry, what? Like,
What?
oh,
Bimbo
they're
316.
loving me too loud. You know what I mean? So like she was looking good. Of
I'm gonna
course. Go ahead,
I was gonna say something perverse.
please.
God forgive me. I understand why they call them knockers.
Yes. Yes.
Because, oh, oh,
Damn. Damn.
damn, she looked good.
Yeah.
Leather chaps, leather bra. Those titties were tittying, and God bless America.
Amen.
Good for you, girl.
Amen, girly.
Mm.
She came out looking like $1 million. Of course, Mark Mero was big pissed about it.
Ugh,
So Mark
piss me
Mero
off.
covers Sable up and is like, "Can you just come out here, look, what and do what you're supposed to do?" And that's disrobe me. And then he's like, "Hurry up.
Ugh.
I don't have all day." I'm like, "Girl, what do you mean? What
Dumping
do you
fists.
mean?"
I swear.
And then he's like, and then a fan or somebody passes her a box of chocolates, and he snatches that shit from her hand so fast. He's like, "I'm so tired of you stealing the spotlight." And he goes in like just slings that like a frisbee
A
up
fucking
the ramp.
discus.
Yeah, he said bye. And he's like, "You disgust me. Get out of here."
Ma
Get out of here. And not only that, as she is walking away, he goes, "And you better hit that Stairmaster because it looks like you gained a couple." Girl, where, first of all? Maybe in them titties, but
maybe
that's
in
about
them
it.
titties.
But like
But
that's about it.
that's intentional. Okay. I hate this a lot. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna be this person. I don't even like this angle. I don't like the angle of like, haha, hee hee. I'm a heel because I'm a bitch to my wife. I
Boring.
just don't like it. I'm sorry. And like, does it make me mad? Obviously, like clearly it's pinging some sort of nerve. I just don't like the idea of like literally you're stealing my spot, like get out of here, fatty, is like literally what he said. And that's
Right.
his wife. Like that is your wife. I
Right.
just don't like it. I don't
Yeah.
like
I
it.
mean,
It's
yeah. 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 Yeah.
obviously it's working. It's pissing me off and I just want to like punch him in the face, but I just
Crazy.
any angle where it's like, oh, the old ball and chain holding me back. We've already talked about this. I will stop, but I just hate it.
I get no, I no, I'm with you.
I'm sorry you're
Because
boring.
he just follows this up with, I need somebody who's actually gonna watch my back. And then he introduces Marilyn, and it's just gold dust. It's
I don't even
just
want to say dressed as
Marilyn in I want to say Marilyn Manson inspired drag, I
Marilyn
guess.
Manson put through the washing machine inspired.
100. Ooh, yeah, she looked banged up, not gonna lie.
Girl, like just a mess. And I guess the idea is because the headbangers like at this time will wear like Marilyn Manson shirts once in
Stuff.
a while
Yeah.
and like whatever. And now they have their own merch, so it's not necessary. But I it wasn't even good Marilyn Manson drag. I'm sorry. Like it
Period.
didn't I don't
Period.
know.
It was just weird.
And
And
if
then
you
the
want to kiss your homies, just do it.
right, 100%. But the entire time that Goldust is making his way down to the ring, Mero on the mic is just like, beautiful people, beautiful people, beautiful people. And you're like, get help, sir.
And then
Get
JR,
help.
we were going, ew, shut up. And JR goes, I don't know if someone wants to get up there and muzzle Mark Mero, or perhaps maybe just take the mic from him, but I think we've all heard enough. And we were like,
Thank
ooh,
you. Thank
JR.
you.
He
Hit him with
literally
the
said,
muzzle. Hit him with the muzzle.
he
Why
said
don't
something
you?
so vile like that. Like, I don't know if anyone wants to get up there and shut Mark Mero up, but it was
Now
like,
would be a splendid time to do so.
girl, JR was at his wits' end tonight. Thank God.
No,
It's
100%.
similar.
This match was probably the most wrestling involved match that we had. It was
Swear to
a quick
God.
little back and forth. Mosh does an impressive power slam, looked fantastic. He knocks Goldust off of the ring apron, which allows Mark Mero to hit Mosh with the low blow. Mark Mero picks up the victory. And then as Mark Mero and Goldust are making their way up the entrance ramp, JR reads them to filth and is like, look at them, perfect for each other, insecure, starved for attention. You're like, headshot, headshot, headshot. You're like, oh my
Never
God,
amounted to much, probably won't amount to anything in the future. They deserve each
100%
other. And the way,
crazy.
oof, brazen
I
slaughter.
love it. I love when
Oh,
Jarrett
I
puts heat
love
on
it.
him. I
Reads
love
the
to see
dolls.
it. Next we have a little side-by-side interview. It is the NWA. Barry went blonde. He's hearkening back to the NWA days.
It
We have a side-by-side with Bradshaw. Bradshaw's pacing his locker room, just like a
like a
bull waiting
caged
to be
animal.
released. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And essentially he being Barry calls out Bradshaw for being a hothead, and that's the reason why they lost matches. And this, that, and the other.
I think it's because you're lazy, Barry.
And then Bradshaw's like, you need to find some guts. And he's like, and if all it takes is to find a partner, don't worry, I'll go find one.
Guts Glory
And
Ram.
then he tears up his locker room.
And honestly, on par for a man. Like, I don't know.
It felt
I'm
right.
mad, destroy.
Felt right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
In character, whatever.
Next, we have a video package promoting Tiger Ali Singh. It has been a hot minute since we've seen or heard anything about him. He's out here calling himself the Asian Arnold Schwarzenegger, calling himself the Asian Sylvester Stallone. This is like a Rocky-esque video package. It's him like training in the sweats, um, long shots of him running across like planes and things. Like I just
Like helicoptered onto the front lawn of his gigantic
right, 100%. He's
McMansion.
like hitting the
The
body bag
trails.
and like
Oh
calling
yeah, he
himself
was
the
like,
true
I'm the true
Messiah, which
Messiah.
is,
Ugh.
sir,
I'm so
you
sorry.
haven't been seen, heard, peep, for months and months, and you're out here putting yourself on par with a lord. That's crazy.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I was like, they're calling me the new Arnold Schwarzenegger, the new or the
They
Asian Sylvester.
who?
Who is they?
Who?
Because we need to have a word because they're wrong. And maybe is it your parents?
Hmm.
Because
Basically, I would let Gemma know is
she
no,
is.
that is crazy.
That is the most delusion. And like, do I love a level of delusion
Yes,
in my people? Certainly
absolutely,
I do.
absolutely.
But that is out of pocket insanity
No, but
delusion.
you gotta
Like
hit me
not
with
even.
like some level of like being able to back that up. Like you
I
can't just
swear,
be
when
like,
was the last time
oh,
we saw him?
it's been like 6 months
I'm not even joking. I was
easily.
gonna say I feel like the last time I saw was in that one where they filmed it in South Africa and the audio kept going in and out. Like I
Correct.
feel like that was the last time
Correct.
I clearly remember
When
him being
Jim
in the
Cornette and
match.
JR were on commentary,
Yes,
like
and
trying
like
to
the
like keep it
audio,
together,
yeah, kept going in and out. Like that is the last time clear memory I have of him, and I'm not even 100% sure that that's real.
was him. Right. So
So that's an insane statement. And I thought they were doing that because he was about to be wrestling in the next match. No, just for fun.
just
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 to
just to
promote
hype
him.
him up, just to like give us a
Remind
little
us he's there.
right. You I wouldn't have to be reminded if you put him on television.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
And that's what I'm saying. If you were in more matches, maybe I wouldn't forget you existed.
right, but also no thank you.
Yeah.
So next we have Faarooq taking on Chains. This is a never-ending saga between the DOA and the Nation of Domination.
Give it up.
No, honestly,
Crush isn't even here.
Faarooq, I know, he went home. Faarooq is flanked by the Nation of Domination, of course. Mark Henry has finally gotten his Nation of Domination fit. Always a little shocking to see a man that large with a hat that small.
Hmm.
Crazy, crazy, crazy,
It's
crazy.
really crazy.
Chains comes out with, of course, the rest of the DOA, the Baldy twins, with Shamrock and Ahmed Johnson. It is going
Mm.
to be a uh, a big tag match between the DOA, Shamrock and Ahmed Johnson, and the Nation of Domination taking place at No Way Out, which is how we got this match.
Mm.
At one point, Faarooq is yelling at the crowd, which gets himself put in the electric chair for his trouble. He's out here just dropping F-bombs on the crowd. The At a rate those 1998 censors could not keep up with.
It was
Um,
honestly kind of a serve.
it's so funny. Kama accidentally trips Faarooq while he is running the ropes, which leads to a huge commotion on the outside of the ring. The Nation of Domination is infighting for the 10 count of the referees, which means that Faarooq gets counted out. The victory goes to Chains, and the Nation of Domination's beef continues. They are so in each other's face that Kama and Faarooq actually start like shoving each other, getting into blows. And Farouk's making his way up the ramp. Kama's yelling like, "Oh, who is he? Like, who does he think he is?" This, that, and the other. And Faarooq decides to put his foot down and to remind everybody that he is in fact in charge. So he gets all of the nation to stand behind him and hit us with the nation salute. I guess that means Farouk's in charge.
I'm so confused. Well, not really. It's like it felt like Faarooq heard me talking shit because I literally wrote because Faarooq gets counted out fighting with the nation, and I said, but he's such a great leader, right? Right,
Right,
JR, isn't he
so
such a great
good.
leader, right? Remember we were
Really
waxing poetic about
crushing
that?
it.
I'm not kidding. I half expected like because Faarooq made them stand behind him. I have expected them all to like they do the fist and then just like turn on Faarooq. I thought this might have been the moment,
Mm.
but I was like, all right, we're gonna drag it out a little bit longer. Something has to give because God, we fighting since the beginning. Like I just really can't take it anymore. It's like, are y'all because not the NWA having better chemistry than you guys right now. Like, let's please be real.
No,
Let's please
honestly.
be serious. It's hurting the reputations out here. I don't know.
Yeah. Um,
It's a
more
mess.
more on the fallout of the nation. So in our next contest, we have Bradshaw and Flash Funk taking on Barry Windham and Jeff Jarrett. Bradshaw wants Windham real bad in this one. That's kind of the story of this whole
Yeah.
match.
Mm-hmm.
JR says that Jarrett is delusional as far as getting high on his own supply, which
And
is not no.
not
Um,
no.
Flash Funk gets dropped by the Rock and Rollers over the railing and gets taken out by officials, which makes this essentially a handicap match. Bradshaw has to take on Barry Windham and Jeff Jarrett, and somehow pulls out the victory when he hits Windham with a kind of like big shove, hits Jarrett with a clothesline from hell. Uh, Covers Jarrett, pins him really quick, and of course, all of the NWA starts attacking Bradshaw. And Bradshaw just is like bulldozing over all of them, which is hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy until, of course, Jim Cornette comes in with the loaded racket. All four of them hit Bradshaw with a neck breaker. Jarrett follows it up with a figure four. And Barry Windham crushes Bradshaw for his trouble. We get a cutaway to a phone call update with Michael Cole, who went with Cactus Jack and Terry Funk to the hospital. We've been getting updates throughout the evening, but nothing really of note until he calls in and all hell has broken loose at the hospital. Apparently, police are everywhere, doctors are everywhere, a security team has been called in. Michael Cole gets cut off for the drama of it all. That
He's
leaves
like breaking up on
Oh
the
yeah,
phone.
like I know, leaves us with Jerry and JR like calling after him dramatically, trying to get that signal back. So that takes us into our next segment, which is Wink Collins, as giving us a WrestleMania sellout announcement. Poor guy is
Wink.
just out here trying to do his job. When the lights go out, everything turns red, and it is Kane and Paul Bear.
I said,
Um,
what did Wink Collins do to Kane?
li-
Not a
Listen,
damn
you're
thing.
gonna please. I'm sure he's done worse for less. So,
Period.
um,
Is
so
it his name is Wink? Let's get
let
out there.
bet. So,
We got to get out there.
say less. Um, of course, the Kane is just the big bad. He's big, intimidating. Got his hands on Wink when Vader comes out to save the day. This is a continuation of the beef of last week, when we saw the two of them pile drive each other.
You
If
love to see it.
Vader throws down the challenge for No Way Out for Kane. And it's basically just like February 15th, your big ass is mine. And he's like, you know what? Actually, I'll put your fire out right now. Grabs a fire extinguisher from ringside and just starts extinguishing the shit out of Kane and Paul Bear, just extinguishes them out of the ring. Kane's big mad. He goes to like get back in the ring to like dole out some punishment. Paul Bear is like, not today, sis. Grabs him by the weave, yanks him back. He's like, no, mama, not today.
No.
Paul Bear saw the writing on the wall, was not about to walk headfirst into that chaos. Not
Yeah.
today.
He even did this like covered his eyes like he's a heat-seeking missile and had to like take his eyes off the target. Was like, no, no, like don't look. Go
Right,
like turn around. Like
right.
so crazy.
Right, like it
I
was like throwing like
the
the blanket over the bird
over the
cage.
bird cage. Yes, completely. My Yaya had a bird like that, and when she threw the blanket over, she'd go, "Good night, you dirty bird."
I love that.
I don't
That's
know why,
amazing.
but it's like a joke in our family. But good night, you dirty bird. They came left. But
I love that.
I I love that someone is finally standing up to Vader since clearly his own brother is dead and can't do
Right,
it. Um and I will say Vader's not great on the mic, but he never has been and I never expect it.
right.
Like I'm not expecting him to do soliloquies like on the mic.
No, no, no,
But
no.
and this was like not
No.
great mic, but the fire extinguisher, he's all action and that's
That's
what I
all you're
like.
gonna remember anyway. you know?
Period. It's so true. And like Vader is just like that's who he is. He's just a big man. He's just gonna beat you up. And I love that. I'm
I
excited to
agree.
see this.
I agree. I agree. I think that'll be a fun, hard-hitting match. I think it's a good filler for Kane until we find out where the Undertaker is, what he's up to, and if he's willing to kick some ass when he returns. I
Mm.
don't know what else you'd have to do to a man before he
Oh,
returns some fire.
please. I'm starting to
Because
question you. Don't make me
right,
question
don't make me
you.
question you.
Don't make me question you, Undertaker.
Don't do that to me. Don't do
Don't do that
this.
to me. I've been so
Don't do
loyal.
this.
Uh,
Uh,
swear.
so next we have in our main event Road Dogg taking on Stone Cold Steve Austin. The New Age Outlaws come out. This time it is Billy Gunn doing the announcement. And he's like, I know there's a lot of you mad at us right now, but don't worry, once the ratings come in, it's not even gonna matter. Everybody in Titan Towers is gonna be very pleased with us, which is a sick mentality, but also probably true.
I
Um,
know I was gonna say, I mean, it sucks, but it's because it's probably true.
Amen. Of course, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, just looking to just absolutely kick ass. He
Mm.
comes down, knocks down Billy for good measure, gets after Road
Yay.
Dogg almost immediately after the match officially starts. DX comes down and starts the 4-on-1 beating. Just replace Owen Hart for Stone Cold Steve Austin, and here we are. They tie up Austin in the ropes, where Shawn Michaels decides to get his extra bit of trash talk, your insult to injury, if you will. So he's holding the title in front of Austin's face. Basically, was like, "You're never gonna have one of these. This is the closest you're ever gonna get to one of these," and it's just like literally like pressing it against his like jaw. When Cactus Jack comes limping out of the back with a IV still in his arm, barefoot, like 1 foot taped up, looking a ratchet mess, like comes in to save the day, clears out DX, Chainsaw Charlie's in a hospital gown, swinging the chainsaw. It's backless. He's got his underwear hanging out. You're like, what is happening out here? These men are like zombies.
I
They will
swear.
not be stopped.
I love it.
Insanity. I just love that they actually had this whole full circus chaos of
I
just
It's funny because at first I was like, I wish they had not come back. Like, I wish they'd kind of played it a little longer,
longer.
only because, like, it just, people really were like, did they die? Like, whatever.
Right,
But again, I was like, that's probably why they had to come back. Because again, like, we literally lit Undertaker's casket on fire, and then they're like, there was no body,
right,
no body in the casket. And so I was like, I guess part of it was like we have to make sure like people know that they didn't actually witness death
right.
on television or even like in the audience. But part of me is like I kind of wish they played it up just because like I feel like if anyone could really do like a back from the dead, like they really are the true zombies.
Right,
I mean, Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie would have been a really incredible like show up at the pay-per-view out of the blue
right.
during their match, like would have been so fierce.
Uh, uh, I
This was also delightful, but part of me is like, I kind of wish that they'd let it sit a little bit longer
I get
because
it. I think
the
it's definitely for the people live.
a
Uh,
hundred percent. Like I know why they didn't do it, but it would have been fierce if they just like appeared from under the ring like during their
right.
match or something. And
Uh,
like,
so,
yeah.
the episode ends with Austin chasing out DX, Chainsaw Charlie, and Cactus Jack have a moment on the ring apron. Austin comes back down with the DX shirt, points it at the hard cam, rips it in half, and then we're hit with like a little extra attitude moment, which is just basically what happened when
After
Raw
the
goes off air, and it's just Steve Austin soaking in the crowd, looking like $1 million. We love to see it. So that's where we are left with that episode, guys. So we are on the road to WrestleMania 14, but first we are going to stop at no Way Out, because of course Netflix has done it to us again. We're missing an episode of Raw between now and No Way Out, so the next one will be No Way Out. But first, guys, we are going to be recording tomorrow from when we are recording this. We will have already recorded when you're hearing this. But our new series, Devolve, where WWE talent level up and we slowly lose our minds trying to keep up. We are going to catch up on all of the episodes of Evolve. If you're listening now, this will be 1 through 7, episode 7. And we are going to do a kind of a flavor of Evolve. We're just gonna run down the newly introduced wrestlers that we have, the new crop of
Mm.
people that we are going to be talking about and learning about and watching them grow and see where they end up. Who knows? Maybe one of them will end up main eventing WrestleMania one day.
Yeah.
That would be very, very cool. But stay tuned for that. And if you are in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut area, and you are looking for a wrestling show on May 25th, Anniversary 8, a Jurassic Celebration tribute show to Vince Steele, is going to be taking place in Ridgefield, New Jersey. That show is being thrown on by Shadow Wrestling Alliance and Bree Combination Wrestling, and we are going to be there. So, guys, if you want
Yay!
to come say hello, support a great cause, and see a very fun wrestling show all at the same time, come out, get your tickets when they become available. I believe the match card is slowly but surely being announced over the next couple weeks. And we are announcing that we have a officially scheduled an interview with independent wrestler Jarret Diaz. So be on the lookout for that.
Very
All
exciting.
right, everybody, thank you for listening to the show, watching, listening, commenting, subscribing, all of those great things wherever you find us. For Kelsey, I am Xavier. We will catch you on the next one.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.